Hey guys, how's it going? It's October 12th, 2017 at 9:12 p.m. So, here we are. Ugh. Gotta stretch out for this one. I was a little tired tonight, that's for sure. Um, actually, I don't know why. I put a YouTube video on just for the heck of it for a few minutes, and I could tell I was getting dozy. But anyways, I might go to bed early tonight if I don't get all excited about some of the stuff that I have. So I plan on doing that now just to keep myself awake for a little bit longer pretty soon. So this isn't going to take too long, but I just wanted to give an update on what's going on with me as far as, or what's going on with anything as far as me, as far as Run 8, RTS, um, life, who knows what. Um, Now this don't get the idea. First of all, I'm tired right now, so I may sound like I'm down or gloomy or depressed or anything like that. It's not that. It's been a pretty tiring week. I think the light's at the end of the tunnel. I just have to get through today or tomorrow, I should say. Once that happens, and things should start getting better work-wise next week. I'm thinking. It wasn't too bad today, actually. But that has, as I was emailing back and forth with Ski tonight, or yesterday, not tonight. See what I mean? I'm really tired. I was emailing back and forth between yesterday and probably at lunch today. Um, just basically what I was on my mind, what I was thinking. We was trying to figure out, I was concerned that he wanted to possibly do something with Florida this weekend, and I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, I really haven't done anything. But then I realized, well, yeah, I really haven't done anything. And then I realized, well, yeah, I really haven't felt like doing anything, and so on and so on and so on. And as you can see the smile is returning to my face just thinking about it because it's been crazy. Um, Somewhere in there, I was first of all. Let me just say, a thanks to anybody who has shown some appreciation and support as of lately, who've been on the forums. I hate basically dragging you guys around this as if that's going to change the way I feel. Because honestly, I wasn't too sure what was going to make. Um, wasn't sure what was going to change the way I felt. I don't even know how I feel half the time, to be honest, in regards to Run 8. I knew a change was coming. I knew either a break was coming or something was coming. I even knew last week. I showed some signs probably getting ready for the trip to Fostoria, and I believe I said it in the last video. I said, I don't know what happens with these train trips, but chances are I'm going to get burnt out of trains. And sure enough, that's what happened. And it happened at first, but it never recovered. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like trains. That hasn't really stopped. But I've had no desire whatsoever to do anything with anything trains, dispatching, you name it. I have had no interest. It's been like I said, it's been a tiring week to say the least. Double the work, and I knew it was going to be a busy week anyways because of coming back from our long weekend. Um, you'll see, since I got this open, I'll show you a few things that have been happening. I haven't been just sitting on the couch falling asleep. This icon here is the big one, and that's Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. That caught my attention In fact, it had had my attention for a little while, and I wasn't going to do it. And then just, what was it? Yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was yesterday I purchased it. Purchased it. Yeah, on yesterday. Now Wednesdays, a lot of times I go into Run8. I have a lot of open time. Nope, I was tired yesterday. Just did not want to get into anything. And when I looked at the description of the last video, I knew that there was a lot of work ahead. And it was just like, no, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into having to do all this groundwork. I'm tired of doing the groundwork. It's just basically exhausting. And until I have my energy back, till I have my drive back, that ain't gonna happen. Ski and I were talking, or he was saying about how, love to run some sessions or do that. He's talking about even running, some type of makeshift server or something that isn't going to be anywhere near as good as RTS or any of the other stuff that we had going as far as the amount of traffic we ran and stuff like that. And I pretty much replied to him. I said, yeah, I'll run with you. You see, I don't mind doing that. Now, going on to that doesn't mean I'm looking for servers either, because I'm not. There was once upon a time where I was. That was, I don't know, that seemed like a couple of months ago now, where I was actually actively looking for servers. I remember being one of the voices that said, it's too bad we didn't have a site out there where we can actually see what sessions were available. But I'm seeing, at least, I don't know what it is. And I've been on the record. I've seriously been on the record, and I do not want to cause any drama. And I want to be, number one, I want to be as honest as I can to you guys. So if you're taking the time to check out these videos, and if you're taking the time to, basically hear what the hell I'm going through, perhaps you can understand what's happening. So that's the big icon there. I'll mention a little bit more about that in a minute, and the significance of that icon. That icon tells a big story. It could be a real interesting story if I do what I think I'm going to be doing. But I have been, back when version 2, well, before version 2 came out, I didn't know what version 2 was going to be. Nobody knew, really, because of this whole, other than we had a pretty good idea as what the AI was going to do, we really didn't know much. And I have gone to bat for the Run8 team so many times. And I've also been critical of them when I think they deserve to have some critical opinions of them. I'll give you an example. On the positive side, Mikey over at Selkirk. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get into that route, and that was just because of the operations, but I've always been candid and said it is the most beautiful route in Run8. It still feels, that stays true, and the guys over at A-Line, it's basically, I would say, a very, very close second. And that's not taking anything away from California either, because California certainly has its beauty. But we're dealing with 3 regions. And I'll if I can, Jason in particular. Now, Jim is, I've had enough information from Jim in the past too, which has been very helpful, that, Jason is usually the one on the forefront a lot of times. I find at least he's the one that I see the most comments and the one who reaches out to me. So you have Mikey over on the Northeast. You've got Jason and Jim who have appeared, especially Jason. Jason will be on Train Sim. He'll be. He even reached out to me back when version 2 first came out, and he was talking maybe that I might produce a video, and he wanted to answer all my questions and everything like that. So very, very forthcoming. But now we're getting down to only few members left of that team. It's not a huge team by any means. And if anything, it could use some expansion, but then again, I don't know. I think a lot of expansion's needed, personally. And it's not the expansion you think. Or at least not the expansion most people would think. What really I think is missing in Run 8 right now is a way to basically, I don't know, stimulate, show something. Like I'm trying, I'm really perplexed by this whole non-disclosure agreement thing. I'm still bound by it. I don't know nothing, absolutely nothing that I could disclose. There's not one damn thing I can possibly say right now that would be anywhere in that agreement. Because I've been gone for years out of that. So what could I possibly, but I've been told about it. I've been reminded of it a few times, but I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? I can't criticize? I don't know what that means. But I'm bound by apparently I'm still bound by the non-disclosure agreement, apparently. I'm like, whatever. I don't know what that means. So, I mean, you look at, I look, everybody does things different. Everybody does business differently. And there was a lot of people that were critical of the team. The way they, the way they presented the Run 8, their customer service, their attitude, I guess. There was all kinds of things that were critical of them. But a lot of times I found that the people who were just being, not giving them a chance and being, quite frankly, unfair. And I would go to bat for them. Even after I was gone from the Run 8 team, I'd still go to bat for them. I didn't care. Despite all that, I managed to get myself into trouble more times than not. I'd say something or I'd show a certain video, it was taken the wrong way. I'm sure this video, if it gets in the wrong hands, will be taken the wrong way. And honestly, I don't care. I'm at the point where I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. Do I appreciate being on the list, or the little list of sites that support Run 8? Of course I do. I'm very appreciative of that. It's meant that people come, to my site, to my servers, whatever. But we're a huge shell of our former selves. And I'll take responsibility for that one, I guess, because ultimately I had I don't know, I had a chance to do something or build something or do something, I guess, but there's a lot of responsibility I think I'm taking on, and it just becomes overwhelming at times, where the way the product is set up right now and the trajectory that it's going. I mean, basically it's expansion, but it's not expanding into different routes. It's not expanding into, I don't know. And honestly, there's no criteria that it has to. Nobody nobody needs. Yeah, I mean, they've made their money. They've sold their product as is, etc. Everything is fine. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff if they don't want to. But if they want to expand their base and if they want to reach out, and don't get me wrong, I see new people on various forums. I still get, hell, even the RTS forum for some strange reason still picks up new people every now and then. I hear people from the YouTube channels are still interested in what I'm doing. They want to see more content. And I hate letting them down. I really do, because especially when I'm getting people interested, or I'm asking for, to see if anybody's out there, and then suddenly people will say, "Yeah, oh yeah, we're out here. We're listening to you. You're listening to me all the time." I'm like, "Whoa, okay. Um, I guess I better do something about it." And then suddenly I'm shooting blanks, and I can't help that because I don't know. I've been trying to figure out. Maybe I've been trying to come up with excuses. Maybe I've been trying to figure out why I don't have the passion that I once did. Maybe I'm just tired. I mean, I'm tired right now physically as it is, but um, that's not going to stop me from launching uh, Microsoft Flight Simulator X for Steam, because it'll be 9:20 a.m. Like, no, I don't want to go to bed yet, and I'll get into that, and then suddenly the adrenaline will kick in, because that will suddenly. I mean, I may not actually. I'm pretty tired tonight. I may just go to bed early just for the hell of it. But I know I can get one good run in there. And I mean, there's some other games on here. There's Epic Games. I've got some battle royal game or something where you're just shooting people, and oh my god, that thing's nuts. I suck at that game. Um, I don't know. There's been a few others in there. Um, Star Trek I haven't run in a while. I haven't run Entropy Universe in a while. This game annoys the hell out of me. Uh, but my son loves it, so we play it. We're trying to find multiplayer games that my son and I can really get into together. The battle royale game, I don't know what the hell it's called. It's not the more popular one. This is a free one. I can't even think of the name of it, but it's produced by Epic Games. Fortnite, that's it. So yeah, we were playing that, and we were both getting our ass killed, but that was kind of crazy. But anyways, this universe thing, and you're just like, oh my god, it's this huge universe. It's basically like it's a clone of oh, what do you call it? I don't know. The crafting thing, Minecraft. It's a clone of that, and I didn't understand Minecraft. I have a hard time understanding this game. It's just like, yeah, yeah. It's just blah. It's, I do it because I like my son's energy and I like his ideas, and I love it when he has, I'll follow his plan and do something and whatever. And it's cool that we're bonding, but my God, I gotta get out. We both have to get off these computers. It's like, and it's fall too, and it's getting colder out, and I mean, we just had one trip on the weekend up to Fostoria, Ohio. I was burnt out by the trains towards the end. I was okay until, right towards the end. But then that kind of seems to be the way things go for me down in Fostoria the last little bit. Trains aren't as exciting for me anymore. It's kind of weird. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s. I've been interested in them for years. Shut up, dog. Dogs. I found out what they bark at. One person walks a dog in a neighborhood, they all go crazy. They get their little view out the window, and then I was noticing that when I was coming home tonight. But anyways, would you just 1 minute? But so yeah, I don't know where this is really going. And I was saying about, how certain members, they're at least I can find where their posts are, or they're posting in certain forums. But why is the major rumor news, which is kind of odd, because I remember being on a certain forum, and you couldn't talk about rumors of what was coming up in version 2. I remember that because that was where I quit that forum. And this same forum, in its special members area, which you have to have extra membership to belong to, well, for some reason, that's where Run 8 decides to post a lot of their tidbits and news. Why? Why not just post a blog so that everybody can see? Does everybody have to belong to, and I mean, does anybody look at the stats? Does anybody look at the trends and see what's going on? I mean, seriously, does anybody really look at the stats? I mean, I can go into it because I don't want to do it, because then, my IPs are going to get blocked from everything. So I'm not going to go into the stats, and I'm not going to go into the various things. I get enough information as it is. I don't need to jeopardize that anymore. But if you look at the stats and where we're at, and don't give me this time of year crap. I mean, it's getting cold outside. It is, you know, October. Things should be really heating up in regards to computer play and that. And I know there's different things. Everybody's going, oh, this time of year is this and this time of year is that. I've heard all of that. We just had a major update, an update which I said I said I was on the record of saying that this update could very well be more, just as if not more significant than the hump, because it meant so much to what version 2 was. It would put version 2 to the next level. Unfortunately, that's going to take a lot of work for me to set up the way I want it to take full advantage of it. And I know some people don't understand exactly where I'm getting at on that. What what I'm talking about is basically, um, you're talking fake industries. Now, I use the term fake industries, but in reality, the industries represent cities. So that's what that's all about. Um, One other thing before I forget, and I'll get on back onto this whole Run 8 thing in a minute, as far as my theories as to where things are going and why things aren't going certain ways. I heard somebody was playing around with a car forwarding system. Do it. I want to see it. If people are out there thinking they're stepping on my toes, please, you're not stepping on my toes. You want to, you want to do server, you want to do anything that helps motivate people. Do it. I mean, I might be interested. It doesn't have to be anything that's practically new or to give something different. I think will benefit. But going back to, this information flow that's going on, we've got, there's certain questions that get asked very easily, I find. Other questions never get an answer to, in some cases. Um, I also find that as far as the information flow, like I said, going to me, that, you know, I said this before. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, has touched Run 8 in 5 years. Nobody. I don't care how great Train Sim World thinks it is or what certain people think it's not. It's garbage. Yeah, it's absolute eye candy, impractical garbage. That's what I think of Train Sim World. As far as its predecessors and whatever it used to be or thinks it is, or it's even better, I guess it's better smelling garbage. I don't know, but all that was just a cash grab and nothing more. All these games. Microsoft Train Simulator was another one. And I'll get into Microsoft Flight Simulator because that's interesting. Because Flight Simulator and Train Simulator and the correlation is really interesting. I mean, I don't want to go on too long tonight because I want to actually maybe get into it again. I was into it. I showed my son early for the first time. He actually didn't mind it. It was pretty cool. Now he said he probably wasn't going to get into it. We're still trying to find some games that are going to be perfect for him and I. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. But we're still looking. But we had Fortnite. We were getting our butts kicked with that. So yeah, it is what it is. No, I lost my train of thought now. But I don't know. That's what happens when you lose your how would you say, you lose your sense of reality or consciousness, I guess, at the time. Because man, yeah, I'm just getting whipped. I'm glad it's Friday tomorrow. I like my job and all, but it's Friday. It's gonna be a fun day. Wait to get through it. But Wednesday was fun too. But let's see. So yeah, I don't even know where the hell I was at. So I said about, nothing can touch Run 8. Bottom line, there's just nothing out there. Honestly, as little and as tough it is to program me, there's a funny way I look at this, and don't get me wrong, this is a small team and they do great things, and I'm saying this in respect to what they have achieved, but at the same time I'm also being critical of what they haven't achieved or what they have a hard time achieving. And I think it's perfectly natural for people to be critical, especially those that are fans and want to see them succeed even more and become even more of a dynasty because they have the potential to do it. What got me probably a little bit disturbed was more of this whole copyright thing. And I saw, first of all, it annoys the hell out of me when I see people that try to push those limits with Run 8. And I see the skins, I see all kinds of other garbage that's going out there that people are just showing, hey, look at what we can do, look at what we can do, look at what we can do. Yeah, we know what you can do. We get it. Nobody can have it, and that's great. Okay, so that's what you can do. That's good. But nobody can have it. So what's the point? But I don't know. I mean, the only thing I see there is it makes them very nervous because you had people that said that they could this, they could buy this, they could, or they could put Run 8 out of business and all that stuff. That Run 8 seems to be scared very easily by threats. I mean, they have, I don't know what it is. It seems like they're worried about the shadow behind them lurking around the corner. I don't know what it is. And it's their business, and they can do whatever the hell they want. I've always said that to anybody who's been critical of Run 8. But at the end of the day, how far are you going to go with it? How far are you going to go with your base without expansion? How far are you going to go without doing something? And I don't mean expansion to this whole expansion of these routes. I mean, okay, I know Jason and Jim, we know where they're going to expand to, so we know that. We got a sense of two expansions that's going to come from the California guys. I haven't heard too much about Selkirk Mohawk. I do know a few things. I'll just leave it at that. But as far as California goes, I guess I guess the LA is coming. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me, anyways. I honestly, it absolutely means nothing to me because I won't be buying it. There was a time was kind of looking forward to it as part of version 2, and then it didn't come as version 2, which was kind of a shock to a lot of people. But I was like, okay, well, I guess that was a misunderstanding or something, but whatever. And now all of a sudden, we're expanding to this, we're expanding to that. I get it. California is their base. Great. Where's Alaska? Where's all these places that they, and I know they got burned by a third-party developer once. Because they got burned once doesn't mean they're going to get burned again. And I thought version 2 was about getting a software down to much easier deal with issues so that they could potentially expand and I heard something about editors not too long ago. I heard it once. I haven't heard about it again. This is the kind of thing that bugs the hell out of me. Because you hear about these little things and then all of a sudden nothing. And then you don't hear nothing. You still don't hear nothing. Apparently maybe a forum post is going up somewhere. And all of a sudden, boom, there it is. I mean, I kid you not. I was just actually, Ski and I was just getting back into trying to get comfortable with just enjoying and playing again and not worrying about anything. And just, I mean, I spent hours going through the schedule. I wasn't too impressed with the schedule, actually, but the way the schedule, actual prototype schedule was, but I went through I spent a few hours one day and I just went through it and we got it all, I got it all set up. And eventually, Ski and I ran and he offered to dispatch that, and that made me even more inviting because now, mind you, I ended up dispatching anyways. I says, I'll take you up on that offer eventually. But we got to ride, that was reassuring to know that somebody is eventually going to dispatch something that I had set up. So that was a good sign. And it just Jesus, unbelievable. I swear, anytime I want to do this, anytime I don't, it's quiet as hell. Like, I don't even know why I do YouTubes anymore. I give up with this. I really do. But anyways, stupid. But band next door or something or whatever, they're practicing and they just went back to the cars, so the dogs decided to start barking. But anyways, enough about my dogs in the well, not even in the neighborhood. There's idiot dogs upstairs. But so yeah, now I see I lost my train of thought again. Go figure. Don't let the dogs disturb you, Sean. Nope. But so I don't know where I was at. I'm just rambling now because unfortunately I've lost my train of thought again. But just knowing where the program is going, I think, is essential to any community. And what had happened was when this great update came out, it took me out of the relaxation mode and put me back into I have to create. Now I have to set it up. Now I have to set it up. And I even said in the description, I was looking at my videos tonight, even said in the description, got a lot of work to do. And I knew I was coming up to that long weekend, and I knew the pressure was on, and I knew this week was going to be a busy week at work. Sometimes that gets me interested in doing things. The problem is if I'm at work and a lot of things are a little stressful and I'm kind of working out my issues at work, which like I said, I like my job. I can work through my issues at work, but what happens is I lose a lot of that spare time because I'm too busy venting about work, or I'm too busy, worried about something at work, where I'm not really focusing on my hobbies. So what ends up happening is I end up coming home tired. I end up coming home with really no new ideas. And when it comes to being creative, I just want to have fun and relax and then head to bed. And then enjoy my weekends and enjoy my time with my son when I see him, which, I've seen him all week. We've had our, fun times. None of that has affected it. But my hobbies and my time or my passions, they get thrown to the side. However, that being said, I still want to do something and I still do have time. So what ends up happening is I go looking. And when I go looking, the one thing I've been looking for is a lot of stuff for my son and I to get into. And since he's not into Run 8, I've been looking and I've been shopping. I've been not so much shopping too much, but I've been really looking to try and find something for both my son and I. And then as I'm doing that, I find something that I haven't done in a while, but suddenly it got my attention. And when it got my attention, think about this for a second. I had no hesitation to buy Flight Simulator. And I mean, it wasn't that much money, and I even spent I don't even know what the hell I spent $16 on the other. I can't even remember what the hell program that was. I spent $16. Oh yeah, Tower 3D. This thing's a cash cow. I mean, this $16. I mean, you think about how much I've spent in Run 8. My God, man, have I got my money's worth in Run 8? Let me tell you, I have so got my money's worth in Run 8 for over 5 years. Are you kidding me? This was about 16 Canadian. That wasn't too bad. It was on sale. I don't think I would buy any add-ons to it. It is what it is. I could probably program something, even if it didn't have the prettiness. I could program the air traffic control. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that someday. Maybe. I doubt it. I'm tired of programming. I'm tired of being always creative or whatever. I just want to have fun some days. Eventually I'll be creative again. I'll get into Run 8. I'll get into something. Who knows? Maybe something else. But honestly, if I had known that nobody would touch Run 8 in 5 years, I think I would have took RTS a totally different way. 6 years ago, actually. I would have took RTS a different way, and that was one of the ideas that I had to begin with, and that was to create a standalone simulator right from the beginning. I don't regret it, because it would have took a lot, but you see, I wouldn't be in the restriction box. And it's kind of interesting that I say that, because the Run 8 team said that about Microsoft Train Simulator, that they were always restricted to what they could do. Well, deja vu, guess what? I'm restricted to what I can do. I don't even know what the limitations with the random number generator is going to be. If I get this to work, how is it going to work? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to give me the results that I really want, or the freedom that I want. And yeah, I can create RTS, and there's the compatibility is still there. The open files are still there, courtesy of Run 8. So yeah, I could do that too. But I mean, what am I going to do with it? Am I gonna run 3 routes and then watch it go to an expansion again, and then have basically, you know, limited, I don't know what, because you got to put limits on everything. I was literally with California limiting myself. Ski's limiting himself. He's talking about running a server and whatever. There's a lot of pressure put on hosts right now, and you're seeing, and I talked about trends earlier. Take a look at the stats and take a look at what's happening. Yes, we're getting new members. Hell, I'm even getting people that are coming off to the Wikia. I'm getting more YouTube viewers. I'm getting more subscribers. Yeah. But if I take a look at the big picture and I see the big picture, and I'm telling you right now, the stats are down. This is not a growing. It might be increasing, but the rate at which it's increasing is not as high. Things are not as good. And to me, the reason being is there's not enough excitement. It's been 6 months since we got that last update, and then we got it. And like I said, it was a great update. Didn't do a hell of a lot other than for me anyways, other than, they talked about signals and a few other things and blah blah blah, but it had that potential for the filters. Most people, honestly, when I look at most people, I would say the majority couldn't care less about them. I don't know for sure, but I mean, that was something that was going to help people who actually did care, which I don't think is the majority. I think that was a minority thing. So for the most part, I would say most people, I don't know if they were so impressed. I mean, some people might be impressed with the SD45s. I don't know. I didn't buy them. But I had no problems buying Microsoft Flight Simulator. I had no problems taking $16 and putting it to Tower 3D. Tower 3D, I don't know how much more I'm going to run that, because Tower 3D, I shouldn't have bothered with my money at Tower 3D. I should have just went right to the back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And it's ironic that I keep going back, and I said this before. I left Microsoft Train Simulator twice. The second time I did was for Run 8. But the first time I did was a few years prior, when I was getting tired of Microsoft Train Simulator. There wasn't enough. I don't know why I bounced back, but see, this is the thing. I always bounce back. But Microsoft Flight Simulator is a growing franchise. It has improved. It still looks a little ruddy and old school a bit, in many ways. Now, mind you, this is the Steam edition, so I hear it might not be as good, but I've run it in a few different cities, and I haven't got into this old ground control thing. I mean, right now, see, I'm just thinking, I'm just like, I'm gonna let you guys go in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna launch that sucker. Even though I ran it earlier tonight, even though I ran it last night, don't care. That's where the interest is right now. And I played games with my son. I played that stupid ass Battle Royale game, and yeah, the graphics were great. Oh yeah, it had an upload. There was an update, so both of our computers were uploading 2.6 gigabytes each. I'm like, you got to be kidding! They just made an update to the damn thing. I just downloaded it 2 days ago, and we were both sitting here twiddling our thumbs. That's why we went in. We actually went back into Flight Simulator. I showed him around, and he seemed kind of impressed with it. Is he going to do much with me with it? I doubt it. And there's other stuff we can get back into. We can get back into, oh, what do you call it? Transport Fever. That game irritates me too after a while. Hell, I was even talking about Euro Truck Simulator the other day, and there's better. Even that franchise has improved because they got the North American one now. So there's a lot of potential out there. A lot of stuff that keeps on growing, and I know this is, like I said, I don't want to sound mean to the Run 8 team, and I don't want to sound all pessimistic, because normally I'm an optimistic person. this at the top of the hour here. It's 56. But you know, to me they owe it to themselves, really, if they really want to push this thing. Open the damn thing up, or just let people know what's coming. Show them what you're doing. Don't be so freaking scared of I don't know what. Secrecy is just ridiculous. I've never understood it. Any other program out there, they're trying to show you what's coming. They're getting your appetite wet for it. I mean, we knew version 2 was coming. We knew it for a long time. What do we know what's coming now? I don't know. Expansion East? I mean, what is coming? Oh, they talked about editor. What does that mean? And they can't elaborate what their plans are. They don't want to. So when you don't have that excitement, people are like, oh, okay, well, we'll see what this is. Yes, and a lot of people, you know, they're still around, but a lot of people are gone too. I know a lot of people who are gone. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I mean, and I'm not just talking about come and go for my server. Yes, I've seen that too. I've seen people come and go. Never reach. And I think you're going to see more of it. I don't want to be the catalyst of it. I don't think I'm that big anyways, but saw dams go recently. RTS is, I don't know what we are. We just, hey, Smiley just put up a server. I think he's put up a 24/7 server now for Selkirk Mohawk. So I mean, that medium is available, and hopefully more people will actually try to utilize or come together and do things together and make things bigger, because these small little segments and branching off into your own thing and stuff like that, it might be good for a small scale, but it ain't helping the big community in general. Because I mean, in general, it doesn't get anybody else really excited, because then it's just like it feels too small. And the way Run 8 is set up it's set up a lot bigger. It'd work great if there was a lot more smaller routes, and I wish there was. But anyways, I'm just rambling, and I feel like going playing, because I feel like flying. So I'm gonna let this one go, because I'm not recording that. Most people aren't interested in that. So if you want some content, or you're looking for something, always let me know what you're thinking. Comments are always appreciated. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Post on the wiki. I still check it out for now. See what happens. 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to sign off for now. Have a good one, and who knows when I'll be back to talk some more. See ya.